Hello and welcome to this episode of I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, where today I'm going to be talking about creating daily traditions.
So the big question is this: how are parents like us, who don't have a manual, who are doing the best we can, who feel as though we aren't enough, how are we going to raise healthy, happy children who we are proud of and still keep our sanity in that process? That's the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Ryan Roy, and welcome to I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, a podcast for parents who are being real with themselves.
Hello and welcome back to this episode of I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, and today I'm going to be talking about creating daily traditions. Like, how can a tradition be daily? Isn't a tradition something that happens like once a year, or you kind of do something like go off on a vacation and you go to the same place? And I will actually get to that this week. It's going to be Traditions Week, in how they're important and what we need to do to implement them in our lives. And I'm going to give you the examples in my life that allow me to have these small traditions that add up to what I hope to be. I don't know jack about parenting, guys, but what I hope is, as I implement these things and these strategies into my children's lives, is that they grow up to be well-rounded, well-adjusted, emotionally stable, happy adults. And for those of you who don't know, in my book, Be the Dad You Wish You Had, one of the things I say is my ultimate goal is to have the respect of my children when they are adults. And I believe pouring into them on a daily basis is very important to making that happen. So what made me think about this is, like, there are things that I do, and sometimes I think, I don't know if it's a conscious thing or it's or a subconscious thing at this point, because they are just ingrained and they have naturally developed. So what can you do as a daily tradition? Well, first of all, what I would say is create routines in your house, right? Create schedules, create routines, because at the end of the day, there are two things that children will thrive on if they know it happens for them. And kids need to know that they're safe. And once they feel that they're safe and they know that they're loved, right? So safety and wanting the need to be loved are two very basic things for every child. And if they feel loved and they have that connection to their parents or the people who are watching them, and whenever they are maybe with a grandparent or a friend or a babysitter, that they know they're loved and they feel safe, they can thrive in that environment. So one of the things I do, and I talk about it in my book, is we have created this nightly, daily, right? It happens every day, tradition of what I call daddy talk time. And it could be mommy talk time. It's just my time after our daily routine. And we'll get to that in a moment. After our daily routine has already been complete, we get to the end of our day. And because I have boys and I wanted to connect to them, I've been doing this with the little one that's turning 8 this week. I can't believe I have an 8-year-old. It's his birthday's actually in 3 days. And once he got his own big boy bed and the guardrails came off, I used to lay in bed with him and we started just sharing his day. What was your day? What was it like in preschool? What did you do today? What did you learn about? Do you know your ABCs? We'd go through, I remember going through the planets with him, and he knew the planets and every aspect about them when he was like 3 going on 4, because we used to spend this dedicated time at night. It has evolved into what I call is Daddy is proud of you because, and I name 5 things each night that I'm proud of him for. And they tend to be repetitive because I'm proud of him for a lot of things. But I tell him 5 things I'm proud of him for. And, now he's kind of used to it. It's probably kind of corny going on at 8. But doesn't matter to me because he's still my little boy. And as much as he thinks he's grown up, Daddy's still super proud of him. After I ask him the 5 things I'm proud of, I'm like, hey, what have you done today that I may not have known about that would have made me proud? And he goes on and he shares sometimes, and sometimes like, I don't know, Dad, can I just go to bed? Right? But we still go through the process. And then we often, if he has certain questions, Dad, what is this like? What is that like? And I'll just answer his everyday random questions. And sometimes I'll grab my phone while we're laying in bed and I'll say, I don't even know the answer to that. The one that he asked me just this week, he says, Dad, how long does it take for us to get to Mars? I was like, I don't know. And I learned all kinds of things about Mars and the distance from Earth. And I was like, this is fascinating. So go. It's chapter number 1 of my book, Go Educate Yourself. Go and figure out how long it takes us humans to travel through space to get to Mars and how many millions of miles away it is. It's pretty crazy that we could travel that fast and that far, but that's what we can do. And that was a mind blow for me. So it's awesome. So the tradition is spending 15 minutes each and every night of dedicated time. And if I can't, for whatever reason, sometimes things come up. We have guests in the house. Sometimes we have, I have a late night meeting. I have a podcast or something I'm recording that I need to get out because I have a deadline and Daddy needs to use that time. But I also say in the book, always communicate change. So within reason, we do that just about every single night. That's our daily tradition. But in addition to that one thing that I love to do with my kids, it's literally having a morning routine. His morning routine is he gets up between 6 and 6:30. He needs to be at the bus stop by 6:54. And if he's up early, he gets to relax and do what he needs to do. If he does not, this morning is one of those mornings, it was 6:30. Got his clothes. I was like, look, I can help you get ready because we're running a little bit late. But he knows if he's running a little bit late, I will help him. He goes to the bathroom. He sits there and he gets his quick snack on the way out the door, a glass of milk. He gets his backpack ready. He gets his shoes on. And there's a routine. There's an expectation depending on what time he gets up. When he comes home, he gets 30 minutes of downtime to do what he needs to do. Then it's go into, and you have your homework now. He's in the 3rd grade now. It's like he has homework every single night. He does his English homework. Waits, then he gets more downtime or playtime or interaction with me. And then it's when Mom gets home, she's going to do the Spanish homework with him because my wife speaks Spanish. I do not. I allow her to connect with him that way. And then we're in the evening routine, right? Where he's having dinner, he's finishing his stuff, Mom and Dad are winding down, baby's going to bed, he goes up and takes a shower, he comes to our bed at this point. He's a little bit older, he reads on his own, and then we go off to Daddy talk time. That does, without fail, that's pretty much what happens every single day in our home, that there's a school day. And we don't waver from it much. Now we have some extracurriculars now, but they throw off the routine slightly. He knows on Mondays Dad has to be at a meeting. He knows on Tuesdays he has to be in a meeting because he has his Cub Scouts. He knows on Wednesdays that he has baseball. He knows on Thursday it's our one down day, and he knows that on Friday is our other tradition. And I'm going to be talking about that in tomorrow's episode of I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, where we start talking about weekly traditions. So we'll see you in the next episode.
Do you want to be the dad you wish you had? If so, go get my free book, Be the Dad You Wish You Had, at BeTheDadYouWishYouHad.com. Inside, you'll find my most effective 40 tips to quickly and easily transform yourself into the ideal dad. Go to BeTheDadYouWishYouHad.com now and get it while it's free.